Tonight on SUTV News, communities across Pennsylvania are showing their support to first responders. And PA residents prepare for the reopening of the Keystone State. All that more right here on SUTV News. Thank you for joining us in the first ever at-home edition of SUTV News. I'm Tyler Danseson. We start off tonight with the plans to reopen Pennsylvania. Governor Tom Wolf announced on May 1st that 24 of the 67 counties in the state will be scheduled to move into the yellow phase of the PA reopening plan. These counties will be deemed eligible to reopen on May 8th. While in the yellow phase, telework must continue when feasible. Businesses and in-person operations must follow the guidelines of the CDC and PA Department of Health, and the stay-at-home order will be lifted and replaced with aggressive mitigation. Governor Wolf has not yet stated more information on when the remaining counties will be reopened. The continued fight against the coronavirus has proved to be long and challenging. Several communities across the state, however, are thanking those who are on the front lines against this fight. SUTV's Carmine Chicatano has more.
While most of us are staying home these days, there are still some of us who don't get that privilege.
Firefighters, police, doctors, and many essential employees still have to go to work every day during the pandemic. Because of this, area first responders are working together to show their support for other essential employees. Cities of Danville, Bloomsburg, and Shamokin all held parades to show the support for essential area workers. From Geisinger Medical Center to Home Depot and Walmart, all essential workers were honored as the parades passed by their businesses.
As the parade passed by and after the parade, very appreciative that the community has showed their support and outpouring of love, and the compliments from the customers that we got, just tremendous.
Nearby in Danville, the Friendship Fire Company has also been showing support in their own way. Every night, members at Station 10 ring their station's bells for doctors at the nearby Geisinger Medical Center.
They're putting their lives on the line, just like we do as firefighters. They put their lives on the line every day. They don't know what they're dealing with every day when they go in there. It's an invisible virus that's going on, so nobody knows what's happening.
And while it is unclear when things will return to normal, it is clear that the support from the first responders will continue until it does. For SUTV News, I'm Carmine Chicatano.
To all the first responders out there fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, SUTV News thanks you for your service. Over the past 2 months, the COVID-19 pandemic has swept the globe and caused the world to shut down, essentially. There is lots of information out there now about the virus, but what should people really be taking into consideration? The World Economic Forum released an article that details the information we currently have on the virus. SUTV's DJ Furman has more.
The number of cases of COVID-19 in the world has surpassed 3.5 million, with almost 250,000 deaths and 1.1 million recovered, according to Johns Hopkins University. On Monday, many world leaders from the European Union have joined together to host an international pledging marathon to hopefully raise $8.2 billion to help research for a vaccine to the virus. President Trump stated on Sunday that he believes a vaccine will be created by the end of the year. Finally, Italy is preparing to ease its lockdown and allow 4.5 million to return to work on Monday. Restaurants and bars will continue to be takeout, and schools and theaters will remain shut down indefinitely. From SUTV News, I'm DJ Furman.
An invasive Asian hornet species has found its way to the United States for the first time. The species, nicknamed murder hornets, can grow up to 2 inches long and has the capability to kill a human if stung numerous times. They get the name murder hornet by the way they infect bee populations and tear off their heads. It is unknown how these hornets came to the United States, although there has been some speculation of them being transported during international shipping. The Pennsylvania Beekeepers Association released a statement on Tuesday afternoon saying that there has been no reports of the Asian hornet in the state of Pennsylvania and that there is no immediate threat right now. Amusement parks across Pennsylvania are closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and unfortunately, there does not appear to be an open date in sight. SUTV's Carmine Chicatano tells us more. Carmine?
With the weather heating up, now's the time when many of us will be planning for summer vacation. Unfortunately, due to closures, it looks like we'll have to be waiting a little longer for that.
We are closed and we don't really have a great idea of when we might be able to reopen, but we'll do everything we can to reopen as quickly as safely possible.
According to Stacy Osowski, Knoebel's amusement resort, located in Elysburg, is usually fairly crowded on weekends in May. Although, due to the closure of non-essential businesses back in March, the park sits empty with many rides still disassembled. Currently, 24 counties in Pennsylvania will move to the yellow phase of reopening on May 8th, which means some businesses are allowed to reopen, as long as they follow guidelines from PA Department of Health.
Of course, as Dr. Fauci says, the virus determines the timeline. We don't determine the timeline. And those facilities would not open in a yellow phase where gatherings more than 25 individuals is not going to be part of the process. So,
this means many amusement parks across the state, such as Hershey Park, Kalahari Resort, Kennywood, and Knoebel's, all must keep their parks closed just a little longer. Despite amusement parks being largely closed, there are still places to go that will be reopening. Golf courses and private campgrounds, such as the ones located at Knoebel's, have been given approval to open starting May 1st. And while we don't know when the park itself will open, the Knoebel staff continues to provide their guests with fun, food, and fantasy in any way they can. They have been posting coloring pages, videos of rides at the park, and even a video of their magician Brent Kessler teaching a simple magic trick. So, until the park does reopen, there are still plenty of ways to enjoy the summer. For SUTV News, I'm Carmine Chicatano.
Make sure you follow SUTV News on social media for the most up-to-date openings. Up next in weather, Megan Talley breaks down the week ahead. Megan?
With a crazy semester come and gone, we are finally ready for a nice and relaxing summer. And according to meteorologists, this summer will be all fun in the sun. Here in the Mid-Atlantic Appalachian region, this year's almanac predicts it to be in the high 60s and low 70s through the end of June, with the first day of summer being Saturday, June 20th. And we'll of course be warming up to above average temperatures starting in July. And temperature-wise, it looks like we'll be seeing some 90-degree days and possibly into the hundreds, with the hot spots being from mid-July to mid-August. And unlike the past few years, we'll be seeing very little rainfall, with the wet spots being in the very first part of summer. Now moving into our first week off, it looks like you're gonna have to save your bathing suits for a little bit longer. Tonight it cools down to the low 40s and will stay clear until the next day. Whereas tomorrow the storm clouds come through and highs will be in the 50s. And in the 5-day, the warm temperatures we've been seeing take a little bit of a dip. Saturday will clear out the rain, but 20-mile-per-hour winds comes through and brings us below 50 degrees and lows go back to the 30s. Sunday and Monday, it'll thankfully warm up towards 60 again, but more rain is coming in on Monday. Then Tuesday and Wednesday will be clear with highs in the 60s with a little bit of clouds. Now, we all hope you have a great break, but of course be safe and stay healthy. And of course, congratulations to the class of 2020. You did it. Now that's all for me this semester. Let's throw it over to Brady Fisher with this week's entertainment.
Tom Cruise is looking to make his next movie out of this world. Literally. According to Deadline, Tom Cruise is working with Elon Musk and his company SpaceX to shoot a feature-length film in outer space. If they succeed, this would be the first feature-length adventure film to shoot in space. The film is also enlisting the help of NASA, and they plan to use the International Space Station to shoot the film. No other details about the film or its plot have been released. Netflix is also getting involved with space. The streaming service has released the first trailer to their new comedy show, Space Force. The show, from the creators of The Office, stars Steve Carell as his character is put in charge of the newest branch of the military, the Space Force. The trailer shows Carell's character, General Mark Nard, dealing with the hardships of running a branch of the military. The idea for the show came after President Trump in 2018 announced a United States Space Force as the newest branch of our military. The show will premiere on Netflix on May 29th. Tiger King has taken the world by storm since it premiered on Netflix this past March. And now we are set to see even more content about Joe Exotic. Variety reports that CBS Studios has cast Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic in an upcoming scripted television series. The 8-episode series will not be based off the Netflix docuseries. Instead, it will take inspiration from an article written for Texas Monthly based on Joe Exotic. The show marks the first time that Nicolas Cage will star in a television show. Cage is known for his hit movies such as National Treasure and Ghost Rider. No other casting has been announced for the show. The best-selling book series, Twilight, is set to make its return with a new book in the series. Twilight author Stephenie Meyer announced that the newest book in the series, Midnight Sun, would be available in stores on August 4th. The new book will follow the same events of the first book, Twilight, but this time from the perspective of vampire Edward Cullen, the male protagonist. Fans have been waiting for this book for a long time after Meyer had first teased the book all the way back in 2008. On Good Morning America, Meyer said, quote, "Hopefully this book can be a distraction from the real world. I'm so excited to finally share it with you," end quote. That's it for this week's entertainment. I'm Brady Fisher. Let's send it back to Tyler Danceson at the desk.
Thanks, Brady. Next up, our sports director, Mackenzie Mitchell, will be highlighting sports that will be back in action very shortly.
The coronavirus may have thrown a curveball into the sports world, but baseball is back in South Korea. The game played without fans, but nevertheless brought excitement as one of the only live events on television. ESPN posted a video of the silent reaction of empty stands to a home run. ESPN has signed a deal with the Korean baseball organization to broadcast 6 games of the season, airing from Tuesday to Sunday, starting at 1 a.m. Eastern Time. The NASCAR world is slowly starting to come back to the racetrack, but this time with no fans and limited crews. SUTV's Jacob Hitz has more.
Since NASCAR finished a race at Phoenix Raceway back in early March, nobody expected it to be the last race for more than 2 months. However, on April 30th, NASCAR announced an updated schedule that starts May 17th and lasts until May 27th. On Sunday, May 17th, the NASCAR Cup Series will run the first race since March with a 400-mile, 293-lap race at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. Other races scheduled include a race for the second-tier Xfinity Series and a second Cup Series race. Following a break allowing the teams to return home to Charlotte, it is 4 straight days of racing from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sunday, May 24th, gives you the tradition that has stood for decades, the Coca-Cola 600, a 600-mile, 400-lap race that tests drivers and equipment. The Xfinity Series makes an appearance on Memorial Day, and the third-tier NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series makes their first appearance since late February in Las Vegas. No practice sessions will be held before the races, and qualifying will only take place for the 600-mile event at Charlotte for the Cup Series. Starting lineups would be set by owner points for the remaining races. NASCAR Executive Vice President Steve O'Donnell said, quote, "NASCAR will return in an environment that will ensure the safety of our competitors, officials, and all those in the local community," end quote. He also says it's important to have an experience as close to normal as they can until fans can return to the track. For SUTV News, I'm Jacob Hitz.
NASCAR has been committed to keeping the season to 36 races and not touching the final 10. NASCAR says it will announce the tracks that will lose races due to the schedule change before the Darlington race next week. The NFL lost a legend this past Monday. Former Dolphins coach Don Shula has died. The legendary coach had 347 wins, which is the most in NFL history. Shula was the head coach for the Baltimore Colts from 1963 to 1969. He then coached the Miami Dolphins from 1970 to 1995. Shula won 2 NFL championships and led his team to the big game 6 times. Shula is mostly known for the Dolphins' perfect season in 1972. He coached the only team to ever go undefeated and win the championship. Shula was named NFL Coach of the Year 4 times and was the NFL's 100th All-Anniversary team. He also played in the NFL as a defensive back for the Browns, Colts, and Redskins from 1951 to 1957. Shula received the NFL's Lifetime Achievement Award in 1993 and was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 1997. Now, there may not have been March Madness this year, but basketball fans still have something to look forward to watching. ESPN released episodes 5 and 6 of the Michael Jordan documentary called The Last Dance. The 10-part documentary is based on the 1997-98 final championship season with the Chicago Bulls. Fans found out through the last 2 episodes of the documentary that Jordan originally wanted to sign with Adidas, but they had turned him down. Michael Jordan's parents had influenced him on a decision to sign with Nike, which would end up selling over $126 million of Jordans. To this date, Jordan has made over $1.2 billion since signing with Nike. Episodes 7 and 8 are set to release on Sunday, May 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. In hockey, NHL commissioners are speaking out. SUTV's Patrick Ramsdale has the latest.
NHL fans have been patiently waiting for the day that they can see their favorite team return to the ice again. However, that date has yet to be determined.
The NHL season has been paused since March 12th due to the league's concerns surrounding the coronavirus. The NHL and its Board of Governors has discussed several options on the best way to resume the 2019-2020 season. The favorable scenario is to have the rest of the season played out at 4 different NHL venues. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman shut down the idea of playing in smaller college rinks in an interview on Sportsnet's In Conversation with Rob McLean.
In addition to everything else, we need 4 NHL caliber locker rooms, because if you're going to play 3 games in one day, you got to be moving things around. We've got to make sure that we're taking the appropriate sanitizing procedures after a team moves out.
During the interview, Bettman also discussed ways the league is looking into handling the NHL draft that was initially scheduled for June 26th and 27th. The draft will likely be held virtually, similar to the way the National Football League held its draft this past April. However, problems arise with the draft order that is determined by the league's final standings. Bettman said that compromises will need to be made and that no solution will be perfect.
No decision has been made. And I said, as we were getting some feedback, we don't live in a world of perfect anymore. We're going to have to make adjustments.
While the fate of the NHL season is still up in the air, one thing's certain. SUTV Sports will be here to provide you with up-to-date information on the NHL and the rest of the sports world. For SUTV Sports, I'm Patrick Ramsdale.
Picture this: Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady reunite on the golf course. You heard that right. These 4 men are set to play a golf match for COVID-19 relief. The 2-on-2 live competition called the Match Champions for Charity will air on TNT. All proceeds will go to the coronavirus relief. The United States women's national team continues to fight for equal pay even after their team claims were dismissed by a court. The women's national team has been in an ongoing battle with U.S. Soccer to seek $66 million in damages under the Equal Pay Act. Megan Rapinoe questioned the court's decision, saying, quote, "If I earn $1 every time I play and a man earns $3 just because I win 10 games and he only wins 3 games, and so I make $10 and he makes $9, I'm not sure how that's me making more money," end quote. The United States Men's National Team Players Association, as well as Joe Biden, support the U.S. women's national team's efforts towards equal pay. In Shippensburg, the Shippensburg University volleyball team opened a BSN Flash store running through May 19th. If you would like to purchase apparel to support the team, the link will be in the description below. The Shippensburg University Foundation held a virtual event called Ship Gives on May 5th and May 6th. The campaign was in an effort to support all of the Shippensburg student athletes that had been sidelined due to COVID-19. Anyone who donated a minimum of $25 received an exclusive pair of Ship socks. Finally, Sarah Womer makes waves from a distance this week as she is the 2020 recipient of the Strauss Memorial Field Hockey Scholarship. She will have the privilege of wearing the number 22 for her senior season. Womer states, quote, "It is such an honor to be wearing 22 in the fall season because of the legacy and meaning behind it." Head coach Tara Zollinger believes Sarah earned this honor for her team-first mentality, her hard work, and selflessness. Congratulations to Sarah on her accomplishment. That's it for sports. I'm Mackenzie Mitchell. Back to Tyler Danson at the desk.
And finally tonight, we wrap up with an English veteran who got quite a bit of attention for reaching 100 years on planet Earth. BBC reports that Captain Tom Moore walked around his garden 100 times with the goal to raise £1,000 for the National Health Service. He has currently raised almost £33 million, which is about $40 million US. Thousands have sent him birthday wishes, including the Queen and British Prime Minister. He also got a very special Royal Air Force flyover on his special day. Moore was awarded the Gold Blue Peters Badge, which is the highest honor, and received a promotion to honorary colonel. But his success does not stop there. He has also broken 2 Guinness World Records for the most money raised in an individual charity walk and for being the oldest person to reach number 1 on the UK charts. That's right, he sung a duet of You'll Never Walk Alone with artist Michael Ball. Tom Moore continues to bring hope and joy to people, saying, quote, "Please always remember, tomorrow will be a good day." And with that, we will be signing off for the very last time until the fall semester. Thank you, everyone, for such a great year. Make sure to follow SUTV News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website at sutvnews.org. From everyone here behind the scenes, in front of the camera, I'm Tyler Danson. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.